So we're here with Tim. Excuse me if I'm a little bit hoarse, but I got a bit excited today. FA Cup, National League, National South side for the third time, and the first time we've come up trumps.
Yeah, finally we talked about it a little bit beforehand, because I think obviously the Torquay game a couple of years ago was a great occasion. I thought last year it wasn't a great occasion against West Ham. We didn't really turn up and almost rolled over a little bit, and this year I was determined that we gave a better account of ourselves, really kind of tried to put them under pressure, play with a lot of energy, a lot of intensity, and we knew if we did that, obviously they're not on the best of runs at the moment, so we knew if we did that we'd try, hopefully get on top of the game, and so it panned out.
They're not on the best of runs, but they're undefeated away from home.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, I think it's since March. I think I heard the other day. And they're a good side. National League South. They're established at that level. Really well supported club. Obviously, we watched them in this. Before we played them, and although they weren't great against Maidenhead, you could see they had quality, and they're there for a reason, and I think they'll get better and better as the season goes on, and it was important for us to, like I say, take advantage of our sort of confidence and probably their lack of it, and really put in a performance to be proud of.
The first goal came on 24 minutes, and it was a class goal, wasn't it? Josh Carmichael to Drew. Drew beat his man, and then the cross, and there was Josh McCoy with a brilliant header.
Really pleasing. It's about football, especially at this level in a cup game, is playing in the right areas, and when you're coming towards their final third, that's when you can express yourself. And got hold of the ball. Drew, brilliant chop inside, and the ball in from Drew was just asking someone to get on the end of it. And good to see my deepest midfielder making a lung-busting run to get in there. But what a great run, just getting in between the lines, in between the defenders, and realised he didn't need to put too much power on the header, just guide it. And great to have him on the end of it, because that experience is great in these games.
And the second goal came 12 minutes later, and I think there was a bit of a loose ball, and then Lewis was onto it.
Yeah, again, it's that fight, that scrap, that front foot intensity that we want to have in the game all day long. And it does take its toll on players a little bit, but Lou's brilliant at that. Anything that's a little bit short, with his pace, electrifying pace, that he's going to get on it. And great composure. Didn't panic, just tap it around the keeper. Did get a bit excited before he scored. I think he whacked it as hard as he could, but I knew he'd score because his finishing's really good. But thoroughly delighted for him, because I thought he worked his socks off again today as well.
He likes the FA Cup, doesn't he?
Yeah. Hopefully he keeps liking it as well. But no, he's done really well. Lou. When you look at Lou and Joe Ryan and people like that playing at this level for the first time, regularly. And really kind of growing into it absolutely fantastically, and it was a delight for him, playing against the National League South side and getting his rewards again. I'm sure his goal scoring will continue in all competitions.
So it was 2-0 at half time, Tim. You know what I'm going to say.
Yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying being 2-0 up at half time so regularly, to be honest, Graham. It is great. And again, it was a case of us. They were lacking confidence probably a little bit before the game, I'd imagine, and then you just don't want to give them a leg up at all. So it was about us coming out, managing it a little bit second half. Obviously we had the wind a little bit, so just making sure they didn't really want to be turned in their back line. So just simplifying the game a little bit, and thought we managed it really well until we conceded, and then it just made it a little bit more exciting, shall we say. So
that goal came on 76 minutes, and it was a brilliant strike, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's gone through a crowd of players, so I don't think Cam's unsighted for quite for most of it. So good strike. Disappointed with how it's transpired, with us not picking up the seconds on the edge of the box and then getting sold with a bit of skill, good bit of skill. But they're going to have quality. They're going to have moments. They're going to put us under pressure. That's why they're in the league above. And it was about them just digging in and being resilient and using our subs, using the fresh legs, making sure that we saw it out to the end.
So when we came to 90 minutes, up went the board, and it was 11 minutes.
Yeah, apparently he said 8 minutes with about 8 minutes to go, and he still managed to find another 3 minutes between 82 minutes and 90 minutes, which is phenomenal. 11 minutes, bit of a choker when the boys have worked so hard. You've got a few falling left, right, and centre, and again it was just about digging in, managing it. I thought they did it brilliantly. Kept it in the corner, went long when we needed to. Ran with it when we needed to, slowed it down, and really good game management, which is again another part of this side's learning journey.
I thought the defence, midfield and defence was tremendous. They only had 2 goal attempts the whole of the second half. One the goal and one other.
Yeah, fantastic. You don't really realise that when watching it on the sideline. But yeah, what a fantastic stat that is, because like I say, we knew we were going to come under pressure. We knew they were going to commit bodies forward and probably go fairly direct, and I thought the boys dealt with it brilliant. I thought Owen, Billy, Robbo when he came on, Josh McCoy, that's my real sort of spine at the back, and I thought they marshalled it expertly.
So we had a really, really brilliant performance last week at Berkhamsted, another brilliant one today, but Gosport, that was disappointing.
Yeah, that was a blip, and there's going to be blips, and it would be easy for a young side to kind of suffer that defeat and feel sorry for themselves. And I didn't have any doubts that they would come back today, really positive, and willing to put that behind them as quickly as possible. And I think that's the most important thing when you have a bad performance and a defeat. You've got to react well to it, and that's where it's a pleasure working with this group, because they are desperate to do well and desperate to turn things around when it doesn't quite go our way.
Do you fancy anyone in particular next round?
No idea who won today, to be honest. So a home draw would be nice again. It was great to be at home today. So yeah, home against anyone for me.
Okay, so it's been a really, really good performance today by the boys. Well done, Tim. Thanks for chatting to us.